Male Review on Yale Radiocast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Studio 7B, the home of Yale Radiocast, and you are going to witness one of the most beautiful things that happens on a Saturday afternoon, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, the Male Review. Myself, Mark L., my brother Dylan Yale, and my brother TR from an undisclosed location. We are here to give you that male review. We're here to give you that male point of view, that male perspective. How y'all doing out there this Saturday?
What's going on, Marcus?
What's good, man? What's happening?
Here to give him a whole leg.
Hey, the whole leg.
Now, the whole leg is not here.
That is correct.
But it's a strong enough leg.
It's strong enough to stand.
To stand on.
That's what's happening,
You have
man.
to stand on it.
Hey, you got to stand on it sometimes.
For those who don't aware, we go by also the leg, which is abbreviated for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And sometimes we may not be as extraordinary, but I bet you won't find a more extraordinary collective of gentlemen between myself, Mark L, TR, and Josh the intern.
That is
what's
correct,
happening,
sir.
y'all? You know what I'm saying? TR, what's going on, my guy?
Not much, Daddy. Not much down here in my undisclosed location or whatever. Trying to repair. I think because it didn't happen to the whole entire world. A lot of people forget about Hurricane Zeta.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still debris. There's still big, huge trees in front of people's yard on the side of the road, big limbs, waiting for folks to pick up. So I ask that everybody out there in the world, period, keep Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Alabama Gulf Coast, Louisiana Gulf Coast in their prayers. Because,
Right.
It's a serious situation. We try to, laugh because laughter is a great medicine.
It
for
is. It is.
coping
It
with
is.
a lot of stuff. But, it's still real. So it's still some people that I pass by their house every day going to work that have lost their house. So,
Right.
Just keep us in your prayers, and, we'll definitely keep it moving.
All right, and that's something that we deal with often from the region that we're from, TR. We're from the Gulf Coast area, so we've always dealt with hurricane and tropical storm activity that we've had to kind of strive through and deal with frequently, and it's happened.
Right.
It's kind of normalized you to this situation, hasn't it? Do you feel like that, TR?
I feel like it does in a sense, and sometimes that's a bad thing. I actually had to write off one of my vehicles. I was telling Donald about it earlier.
Right.
So whereas right now, with the situation I'm in, because of the title, because of the situation, I can't ride it around.
Right.
So that's one vehicle shy. Also, with the repair that I got to do, I think everybody that had a house had shingle damage in my general area. And I think I had about the least maybe, but I still had to get up there because another hurricane was supposed to have been threatening us.
Oh, my God.
So what do you do in those circumstances?
Right.
So I think sometimes it does normalize us when it's not in our yard, and it could be our next door neighbor.
Right.
Got an oak tree through their house, but since I'm normal now.
Okay, right.
Work. And like I say, sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes you can look at your neighbor with a tree through their house and be like, hey,
how you doing today?
Give you a thumbs up don't mean, just because he give you a thumbs up don't mean
You
he ain't
okay?
gonna do nothing.
Right. You okay? No, I ain't okay, but,
How you doing today dealing with that hurricane and the storm knocked down your house for the third year in a row, brother?
Other than that, listen, I seen stories with people that live down in different areas in Florida where they got taken out by a large hurricane and rebuilt and had a family dinner and took pictures, and they was America strong. And then another hurricane came and just wiped that one out. I'm like, it's about time to move at that point.
Right.
Because I'm going, you rebuild the same house in the same place and two hurricanes take it out. Maybe you shouldn't be there, but I understand how it is to stay,
right?
Especially when you have a lot of deep roots there. So my prayers definitely go out to those that live on the coast, man.
Right. And shout out to the social workers that are doing work that's actively helping repair these locations as well. I know some people who are doing assistance aid with repairing and doing work and traveling from city to city to help do
FEMA.
aid and FEMA and do some things to help these people in their their situation. So I want to give a shout out to them as well. You know what I'm saying? Yale Radiocast, the Mail Review. If you feel if you can call in on that situation too, but we got an interesting topic today. I think since the inception of the Mail Review, we've covered plenty of topics as it pertains to women. Now, this isn't exclusively to a woman,
right,
but it generally relates to women. We're going to speak on prostitution.
Okay.
And should it be criminalized or legalized? You know what I'm saying? That's we haven't covered that, man. We go into everything else and you know, women, how they conduct themselves in this situation or a situation that may result in a woman doing this or this. We've never talked about. We talked about being hoes and sexually active by choice, but we've never talked about prostitution. TR brought this topic up, and you want to let everybody know where the topic comes from, TR?
Well, it all started from our elect, not sworn in yet.
Yes.
Oh boy,
Vice President.
We got some stuff to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at an article where she was making a town hall statement. I guess it was a Q&A thing, and she made the statement of, and here's where we need to go deeper, my brother.
Okay.
It wasn't just her looking at the idea of a woman prostituting herself out and it being, you know, looked at as far as criminal involvement,
right,
a lot less than what we're deeming right now, a lot less than what the judgment is right now. She wasn't looking at it like that. She wasn't looking at it like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just harsh sentences that's being brought down on these women. Right. No, she had the idea that, no, these women, you know, what they're doing with their bodies, whatever, you know, it's they're getting put in jail, you know. I guess, you know, it didn't weigh out in her head and what she was trying to convey, that the crime didn't fit the punishment of what they're giving these women that are prostituting themselves. But she went further, my brothers, and said that the pimps, not the Johns, the pimps that do, because all of us, if you're the league, you know the lingo. Okay, so we ain't talking about the Johns. The Johns are the people that actually are going to pay for the transaction. Okay. From the prostitute. Right. The pimps are the ones that are running, and I might add, that add the security.
Okay, the security layer, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea of it. So, I mean, she was saying, absolutely, the pimps themselves need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. So if you're caught pimping a prostitute, or if you're caught pimping, then, yeah, you're going to get the strong arm of the law. Okay. If you're the woman that just wants to sell her body,
that's okay.
You're not going to get any punishment.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And that was my issue at the full statement in its fullest. Now, I don't agree with prostitution. Okay. And I think that that's where me and my brothers kind of like, whatever, because a lot of us have too much yard to clean in order to go mow somebody else's grass. Okay. I understand. Right. I understand. But my issue is that it clearly seemed like this vice president, God forbid if something was to ever happen with Biden and she takes over, because it seems like she has undertones of male hatred, i.e. black male hatred.
Ooh. We are going there.
Oh my goodness.
Lord. You know what, TR? I was going to take a break and let the beat build. And this man just went on ahead and started beating the drum. Just
cracked it open.
Yeah, he get a drummer. See, we might well run into it.
Hey, listen, man.
Get the drummer. Look, I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna get a little tidbit of what might we talking about. We gonna go to a commercial break, then we gonna come back and we gonna. Nah, T said, nah, we gonna. He put his foot right into it.
Right
okay,
on, man. Okay.
Mark L, what do you have to say to that? What TR just said?
I mean, okay, so here's the thing, man. Okay. in regards to prostitution or the selling of one's body, which of course applies to both male and female. We're not trying to single out any one gender here, because there are sex workers on both sides of the equation and everything in between. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to let Darlin bite his lip, but let's just say
I mean,
and everything in between is what I'm saying.
For guys, we call it a male escort.
Correct. Do you an escort, something to that effect.
Something to that effect.
I don't see a problem with them being able to do that, but my problem kind of along the lines of what you're saying is that the person that's responsible for making the introduction, so to speak, would be someone who should be held more responsible when it comes to it being an illegal matter. So the question kind of comes down to the legality or the illegality of selling one's personal private effects to another person for a certain amount of time for a certain amount of money. Right. I think it comes down to whether or not that should be something that should be a criminal act or something that should be regarded as just a business transaction. If that is the case, because I mean, going along the line of what you're talking about, TR, if that's the case, let's just say you have a prostitute who works for herself. Does she get the same pimping charge technically if she makes her own introductions, exchanges her own money, does the activities, and says, hey, thank you, have a great day, and go on about it? When the police arrest her, do they arrest her as a prostitute, or do they arrest her as someone who is engaged in the business of prostitution, so to speak? Because that's what you're really prosecuting here. It's not so much that the man made the introduction. It kind of comes down to almost an industry thing. Now you've created a whole system where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 young ladies who all need your security and your services and need you to make introductions at a certain time. And all you doing is facilitating that. So you catching a charge for that, if it's illegal, of course, I agree 100% if it's an illegal thing to do. But if it's something that you take the criminalization out of it, is this something that now becomes taxable? Is this something that now becomes a reason for the IRS to come at you and go, look, man, you have 4 ladies in your employ for the past 6 months, and you're telling me you claiming $750? Thank you, the current president in chief. $750 in taxes. That's all you. That's all you got. That's all you made. That's all you gonna tax. So I think going to what you're saying, TR. Yeah, definitely we need to dig into that, man. That's my theory behind it. I'm definitely for anything that you choose as far as how to conduct your life, or if you want to be a sex worker, if that's what you want to do. And I mean, sex work covers a lot of different things. But if you want to be a sex worker in the way of that, a lot of times prostitution is one of those things that's kind of a sore point. It's kind of a needle in the side. What about you, Dalon? How you feeling about this?
The interesting thing about this topic, for everybody that's listening in on our station and on the live feed, is there was a split room. There was a split room on this topic with. We already alive.
Whoa! We got some fiery topics coming in already, y'all.
Yale Radiocast. This is the Male Review, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Thank you for calling in. Who do we have on the line?
Queen D.
Queen D. What's going on, Queen D?
What's up, Queen D?
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing good. My subject right here.
Yeah. What? So you're feeling some type of way about this topic? I see you. This is a hot topic. I would assume that for you, is it something that you?
No, legalize it.
Legalize
it.
Okay.
Okay. What's your reasons?
Our country, and a lot of people don't know this. During the beginning of our country started becoming, economically supportive of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Prostitution was the backbone of it.
Okay.
Speak on it. Speak on it. So you're saying prostitution has been the backbone and one of the things that has built this society that we live in today.
How deep it was. I'm going to tell you like a few examples how deep it was. It came to a point when you went to a brothel, and let's say you want to be elected mayor within your little city or town or something like that. You would go to the brothel and talk to the head lady of that brothel or head man of that brothel to persuade people to do it. They the one that was giving money. Like if I have a brothel, I would give money to government officials who were coming into my brothel. to also expand my business, but also get them elected.
Okay.
So you're talking from the political
Because
side.
my money was taxable. Back then, it's not really taxable. It was kind of taxable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my money built that city.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, certain parts of California that's big now was built on prostitution. Certain parts of San Francisco, certain parts, even New Orleans.
Well, they
You
call
know,
it
Bourbon Street.
the world's oldest profession, right?
Yes, they do.
Huh?
They call it the world's oldest profession. So yeah, it's been around a long time now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it was a thing that you did. You got the it built the economy. It built up everything because men, women, whoever was coming in there making money, expanding the business, making other things. Like a lot of the women, I'm speaking from a women point view. A lot of the women actually, when they had the brothel, they had another business. They probably had like a laundry business or something like that.
Okay.
And then back then, that was the only profession that a woman can get employed in was that profession.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like-
yeah, true.
So that was something that was bringing in a lot of money.
Yeah. So you have no
that-
issues.
to the
So you, Queen D, have totally no issue with prostitution past the reasons of you understand that this is what America's built off of in certain regions, and there were political ties that benefited the politicians involved. Currently,
Like you got women, it's like one woman out there. I don't remember her name, but she's a multi-millionaire off of doing the what you call the lady? They not considered they like high class prostitutes.
Oh, escort.
Call girl.
Call girl. Yeah, I guess.
Workers, you know what I'm talking about. They have, she
Markel,
got men, she got women, she got all that. And she a multi-millionaire. Some of them politicians, some of them our president, some people actually come to her to get them workers, and she making millions and millions of dollars off of that.
I think she making millions and millions of dollars just to be quiet.
maybe just to be quiet.
But I mean, you're
And
right.
The workers that doing it, most of them don't even have a problem doing it because they making billions of dollars.
Right.
Depending on who they up under.
It's a business
So why not
thing.
tax that?
It's a business thing. I mean, even out in Nevada, it is it's legal. Prostitution is legal out in the Nevada area, especially around Las Vegas, where people, they call it Sin City, and it's got all those thoughts. And I actually had the opportunity to go out to Vegas. I've been to Vegas twice. And yeah, you walk up and down the strip, man, and you hear the little click guys, and everybody tells you don't look when they click, because as soon as you look, they're gonna hand you a card that basically gives you the phone number of someone who you could spend the evening with if necessary, just for company, just to hang out
It's
with.
like in Nevada. What's that house called? The Cat House? He had his own
Yes,
HBO
they had
show?
a whole show on HBO talking about it. And I mean, again, he had licenses, and there were certain stipulations they had to go through, but kind of to what TR was saying, if they did go ahead and kind of nationalize and legalize sex work, or the sex work industry, would you then create basically not a new economy, but an addition to the economy? Because I'm pretty sure that guy, I think he passed away now, I forgot his name, last name Hoff or something like that. I know that he probably paid a lot in taxes and a lot of that stuff he had to do. Hold on, Queen D.
Queen D, thank you for your call. We got another call coming in. So we're going to talk about that topic that you spoke on, though. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Yale Radiocast, the Mail Review. Thank you for calling in. Who do we have on the line?
It's your boy Copyright.
My guy, Copyright. What's happening, Copyright?
Friend of the show, what's good, bruh?
I saw the flyer on IG,
Okay.
and I thought it was great to call in on this, especially having a hangover headache. Great combos way to start today.
So you're saying since you already lit, might as well let it flow.
Right. Just go ahead and just make the head just go ahead and just blow it on out, bruh.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. First off, let me ask y'all a question.
Right.
Would y'all consider, because we know prostitution is sexual intercourse.
Right.
How do y'all feel about OnlyFans?
OnlyFans. That's online. Hey man, I'm a quote a quotable from a great artist that I grew up listening to. His name is Chad Butler. He once said, "Pimping ain't dead. It just moved to the web." Okay, you know,
But the ladies got control of it.
yeah, so ladies do have control of their own future with OnlyFans. For those people tuning in on a live feed, go to YaleRadiocast.com so you can hear all the content for the people calling in. Please go to YaleRadiocast.com, listen live, you will hear all the other content. Yeah. So what our artist copyright just said is we're talking about the OnlyFans pages. That's pretty much almost the same thing digitally. It's just it's just no actual physical interaction, but it's the same thing. It's just sex over the web. What do you think, Mark?
Hey, look. Again, my thought is, hey, if you can do it, if you think you have a draw, you have an audience for it. I mean, that works in person, online, at the club, however you want to look at it. I mean, if this works for you, I don't have a problem with this. Again, if you can take something that people appreciate and monetize it, and you're able to provide that service at a timely fashion to when these people would be available to watch or participate, depending on how you run your business, I say why not, man? Because I mean, there's a lot of different things, and like I said, sex work counts for a lot of different things. Prostitution is just one of those tips.
Yeah.
You also have people that help with intimacy issues in the bedroom. That's considered sex work.
Okay.
Massage therapists sometimes.
Give a happy ending.
Being in the military, we know all about going to a massage area, or we've heard of those stories. We'll say.
Okay.
So that's also considered a part of sex work. We don't need that laughter, sir. Thank you for that negativity.
TR, what do you think about? What do you think about the OnlyFans pages and the online sexual type fields? What is your opinion on that, TR?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It's not the same. I agree with you. One is more of a physical thing, and I think that honestly, the way that some people are gonna interpret this, where the vice president is coming from or whatever,
right,
is that these women, these low budget, low income women, are going to be just able to open up that door, up their front door, tell them 5 kids that they already done had to go to a room and go to a back and transact money for sex, when that's been going on under the table for eons. We all agree on that.
Right.
But we're talking about the idea of monetizing, and there's not a monetized business ever in our country, to whereas if you're charging money, the government got to get a piece.
Okay,
of course.
And then what are the insurances on that?
But
what is the everything else?
I think that's why we're speaking on legalizing that, though. Copyright. So pretty much everybody is saying it is a little bit of a different field than actual prostitution, sir. Because it's like it's not person to person contact. It's somebody behind a camera and screen. Easiest money in the world is the American dream, brother. So what else you follow up with that, man?
I will say this now. This might be a little controversial to say, but knowing me, I don't care.
Yeah,
anyway,
okay.
First off, I'm going to say what I want to say.
We know that.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be me.
Right.
I feel like, to be honest, I don't see why they wouldn't legalize prostitution. And the reason why I say this, let's say there's a lot of men out there that don't get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of men that they probably can't lure in a female, or have any kind of relations with a woman because they don't know how to. So, but, if they have the fun and they're able to do that, my honest opinion is I feel like that would probably maybe slightly lower the percentage of rapes happening. To me, I know that's kind of far-fetched, but hear me out. The reason why is because men take because they don't have it. They don't have it.
Right. True.
You know how many women in the Vegas Strip that are probably a 9 out of 10, and they selling it? They selling it. And it's practically legal in Vegas. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's practically legal in Vegas.
I think it might actually be legal in Vegas.
Cops know. You know, you see a lip flap here or two there on the side of the dress, you know, over there on the Vegas Strip.
Mm-hmm.
And it might lower things down. I don't know. I can't honestly be legalized. I mean, shit, you gonna legalize weed? Might as well legalize pussy too.
If you're legalizing weed, why not legalize prostitution? You might be onto something there. We'll discuss that, man. I appreciate you for calling in, and we're going to touch on that because what we want to go into the good and the bad of prostitution, because I actually understand the sentiments of TR, what TR is kind of going at here, you know, and a lot of people are saying legalize it. TR saying F that, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get some other people calling in on this topic, 678-586-9241, that might be agreeing with TR's side, and maybe, you know, because this is a field that we don't talk about much. We know it's out there. Yeah. We know we discuss it, but we want to go into depth here on the Mail Review, man. So we appreciate that copyright. Let everybody know where to follow you at, man. This is a great hip-hop artist right here. A real hip-hop artist, by the way, not some dude that's auto-tuning and talking about sipping syrup and drugs. Let everybody know where to follow you at, copyright.
At The Real Copyright. That's THEREALCOPYRYTE, and that's at everything: IG, Facebook, Spotify, all that good stuff.
My man.
All right. Appreciate that, guy. Let's get into this topic that you left with us, brother. We appreciate that, brother. Have a good day, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You too.
Hey, and just a jewel, man, from what I understand here, and this is some information that was pulled from the Insider, and this is just back in June. OnlyFans reported a 75% uptick in model signups. Model signups, of course, are when you decide, hey, look, you know what? I'm finna start an OnlyFans page. These guys like to look at toes. I like to paint my toenails. So that's what I'm doing. So model signups.
You know what though? I think a lot of that comes from the COVID.
Yep, since early April. Mm-hmm.
Has forced people to try to find another way, women to bring up income. And I hate to be, because you know everything I say sounds anti-woman, right? You know,
don't do it.
Well, I wouldn't be dialing if I don't. Go ahead.
To an unintelligent woman,
yeah.
To an unintelligent woman, your comments sound like, you know, women bashing, but to an intelligent woman, she can break it down.
Right. So
she understands where you come from.
I said this on Women in the Mic earlier, that, and this does not relate to every woman. I have to put a disclaimer out there. I hate that I have to do this these days in this cancel culture society and sensitive ass people. But for the most part, and I'm not saying women don't work hard, women bust their ass because they're mothers, they're single parents, men ain't there, but men are acclimated to working extremely hard and doing whatever they gotta do. I don't think men look for too much shortcuts with working. I might be wrong on that, because TR will say, we do know there's some lazy men out there. Yeah, sure. But if a woman can find a easier way to make money, she definitely will. A woman will, because that's why they take jobs like desk jobs. But when you ask for a equality job, such as a warehouse job that requires you to pick up 80 pounds, you're going to say, nah, that's a man's job. Okay. So here we are in a way that a woman can make money easier, and all she got to do is flash titties. Come on, she's showing it to a dude in the inbox anyways.
Why not get some money?
Why not get some money for it? So this has created a lane for not all women, for some women to actually financially bring themselves into a situation because their job has closed down. I understand.
I mean, hey,
and I'm not saying it's wrong. And I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm just speaking the vibes of what it possibly could be. Go ahead, TR.
I will honestly say, going off of what you just said, my brother, that is my total complaint about the whole ordeal. It's almost like the world is giving excuses to trifle them up. To me, it's kind of like that dude on the couch that we all giving excuses because he went out and got one application and didn't fill it out. But he's still sitting on the old homegirl's couch. And we're now talking about why she tripped.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're not giving him no excuses either.
And I'm not giving you women no excuses. It's a trifling thing for you to sit up here, cock your legs up and whatever, and say, give me some money, and think that you deserve to be called a worker. No, you're a lazy-ass opportunist. That's number one. And I'm saying this. I'm going at y'all, challenging y'all to find a lie, circle the lie, because you're saying that, each person should have the idea to choose whatever they want to. Yes, that's absolutely true. But that doesn't make it a not bad choice or a bad choice.
It
You
depends.
still make some effed up decisions, just like what we did 4 years ago with Trump.
Uh-oh.
So, if the whole country can make an effed up decision, why can't we look at each other and say, yeah, you know, you can do whatever you want to in your yard, but that's still effed up.
Hey.
And I will add to this. You can sell weed by the pound, my brother. You cannot weigh pussy to monetize.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Well, look. Now so, okay, but see,
it's some heavy pussy out there.
Here's
It's a fat cat. Hey, this is blue magic, and I stand on my
You gotta
product.
stand by your product. Listen, but no, I feel you, T. I feel what you're saying, man. But you know, the thing, here's the part you taking out of it, though. This is the part I see you missing. The part you're missing is that in order to sell it, I mean, somebody got to be there to buy it.
Right.
I'm saying, I mean, if it's possible to be monetized, there's got to be somebody willing to pay the monies. So, I mean, just because they make a choice, I mean, don't they also,
So you're saying,
it's a supply and
so you're saying
demand, right?
So you're saying just because you have a demand, you have to supply.
No, you don't have to. You can make a choice, but that's the difference. Like you said, you have a choice. You have a choice.
There's some hitmen out here that will back up everything you just not said, my brother.
There's some hitmen.
There's some people that will take somebody out. You're saying,
Hey, the ends justify the means. Hey,
get it.
but it's illegal. I mean, again, people make their own choices. But I mean, in order for hitmen to exist, somebody got to get hit. Look, somebody needs some
It's
killing.
my choice.
Somebody needs some killing out there.
So let's slow down and go into what copyright was actually saying that and I don't know if you caught everything copyright was saying, TR. He actually said if we do legalize prostitution, we're actually possibly will actually
Lower the incidence of
lower incidents of rape and things of that nature. We could possibly create a lane where men who don't have as much game, men who possibly, you know, need help getting sexually pleased. Now, instead of going and forcing ourselves upon women, now we could just go ahead, and since I don't got the game to just walk into a club or just holler at a chick and, you know, create that because I'm socially awkward, and I'm giving a guy an excuse. I'm socially awkward. You know, I don't, you know, I'm shy. You know, I don't know how to, you know, I'm not as cool and swaggy as my guy over there, TR. So this is an option for me. I'm just gonna call up or pull up on
whomever
Fifi over there, cause I don't know how to do what TR does.
Right.
So I don't have to
And you
actually.
made
Yeah. Go ahead.
He made a great statement. He made a great point. My only issue with that is
Hold up.
crazy always gonna be crazy.
We got a call in. Yale Radiocast. This is the male review. Thank you for calling in to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
leg.
Who do we have on the line?
This is Ashley Larkin calling in. Hello, gentlemen.
Miss Larkin, how you doing,
Hey,
ma'am?
Ashley, what's going on?
I'm good. Just tuning in, listening to you guys. I just wanted to say something before I forget.
Go ahead, give it to us.
I do not think that this would stop or slow down rape to me.
I was gonna
Okay.
get into that.
People who do that.
Yeah.
They're in that because they actually like the actual. I don't want to get too deep.
Go ahead and go deep.
But people
Go ahead. Say exactly how you feel. And I think he
I
did
know
say
exactly where she
possible.
going.
He did say maybe. He didn't say this is what's going to happen. So I see where you're going. But go ahead and spit it out, man. This is Male Review.
Okay, so I feel like people who rape women, they're actually into the they
Power.
get out of the resistance. They get kicked out of the no.
Right.
I think people do this is sick, and it's really a mental issue.
Right.
So I don't think people rape out of I need sex. Like you said, you go pay for sex prostitution, been out since the beginning of time.
Right.
So if you want sex, you can go pay. So people who rape want sex, they want a victim.
Right. That's
They
true.
want to be the kick and a thrill out of a victim.
Of victimizing somebody. Yep. You are right.
That's true. That is, and I think that's
Rape is about power. It's not about
it
sex.
is about power, and that I would say that's mostly the thing. But maybe there may be a small field of people who, I don't know because I don't think. I'm not a rapist, so I can't say how they think. I don't want to say it is or it ain't. So I just think he's just trying to create something that may help.
Right.
But I agree with you, Ashley.
Now, do a guy get frustrated? I'm not saying guy haven't been in a situation and maybe the girl was like seeming like she was ready or offended. I know it went down in certain instances where that may have occurred, and it probably was just a frustration of he thought that it was going to go one way and it didn't, and then it happened. So
right.
I know that probably happened too.
Right.
It don't make it right.
Yeah, it still don't make it right. Right.
Even if women might come off like she finna do something and don't, and then you feel like, okay, you played me or you got me out of whatever you got me out of, and now you ain't handling the end of the bargain. But for me, I feel like prostitution should be legalized. Why not just have them go get a license like a stripper?
Hairdresser, all of them.
Have them get a license. Probably have them
Barber.
calculate their sales monthly like a business would do, and they pay based on them food.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You are correct.
If she sleep with 10 men for free, ain't nobody gonna care. You got women laying down with 10 men a day for absolutely nothing. Ain't nobody cares.
Right, true.
But the minute she gets $5, it's the problem.
Hey, shit. Hey, I honestly agree with everything you said. You haven't said nothing wrong yet. Ashley calls in quite a few times.
Yes,
with,
thank you. A beautiful friend of the show.
Honest
Ashley.
opinion. We appreciate that, Ash. You have a good day, ma'am.
I'm listening.
Listening.
All right,
Hey,
all right.
feel free to call back in. And we love the insight. We love the input because you as a woman, you're honestly gonna look at it from a different perspective than we do as men. So that's why we love women to call in 678-586-9241. This is the male review, but with this topic, we know it truly relates to women more than men. We know we got
men that'll call.
Men that'll call, but from the perspective side of men in this field, we
are sexualized, and we get people get free stares from us.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could be a nun walking with a whole nun on, and the nigga is still gonna say something.
Hey, boy, she got a lot going on in that habit.
Well, we appreciate that, Ashley.
I'm a nun, sir. He's still trying to
Well, shoot. You see how that dress fit that nun, dog?
Lord have mercy. Thank you for calling in.
All right, thank
Ashley.
you for calling in, Ashley.
Absolutely.
I'm listening.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Go ahead and let y'all know what Ashley was saying.
To y'all, so basically, what from Ashley's standpoint, she was calling in basically to kind of respond to what Copyright was talking about, believing that legalizing prostitution would slow down the violent crimes against women. And what she was saying primarily is that, just given, I was going to say the same thing. She and I were kind of right on the same page. That sex is not really at the top list of a rapist, believe it or not. A rape is not necessarily for sex. A rape is for power over that person or to victimize someone.
Right.
So she was just kind of chiming in on that aspect of it. But she actually is in agreement with Dylon and myself as far as it being legalized, because like she said, hey, a woman can lay with 10 men all day long every day and nobody will say anything. It's just when she starts to get $5 spiffs every time it happens, somebody starts to make a big deal out of it. So she says, hey, they should go get licensed, just like a hairdresser, just like a barber, just like anybody else, and keep track of her clientele, charge and count every bit of money she gets and pay taxes.
Show me the whole facts.
That's it. The whole facts. That's it. That's the whole thing at the end of the
There you
day.
go.
That's what they're saying. So
That's my thing. I don't think that nobody's that diligent. I don't think nobody that goes off into this profession is going to be that diligent unless they already got a whole house. The people who are going to do it and do it full beast mode are going to have a burlesque or a whole house or something like that. And those people are already in Las Vegas.
Right.
You have hard workers that will take any profession and make $1 out of it, but
Hey.
those are hard workers. We're not talking about that. We're talking about I'm talking about the people who actually think that, like I just said, they're going to tell the kids to go to the back room, they're going to make that under the table transaction, and they good. But here's the thing. Okay, when you're making it government-wise legal, what's going to happen when something comes from that? I.e., a child. Okay, you're going to put that child on what? You already selling pussy for money. You selling ass for cash. So that just shows you that you don't have a 401. You don't have a damn retirement. You don't have any kind of thing that'll set you up as far as paying into the government just in case something happens. You don't have any insurance.
You know what, TR?
So who's gonna pay those insurances?
I honestly, I see where you're going with this, and I honestly think, and I don't know any prostitutes. I know some hoes. I'm just being honest. I know some hoes. Just being honest. Who's giving it up freely? I honestly think that women who, and this is only a guess here. Once again, call me women and men if you know better than dialing. I'm saying I don't have any experience in realms of paying for, because I think it's a free resource. But nevertheless, I think women probably who are in the world of prostitution are possibly safer than the regular hoe who's doing this without protection. Like, because they are living, this is their living, so they have to protect themselves so they can continue to make their money. A chick who just doing it for the shits and giggles and doing it for the shits and giggles, and they're not even concerned about having a baby, because we know plenty of chicks that have had 2, 3, 4 kids and they ain't making no money. They just are got a loose booty. Let's just be honest. So I honestly guess, or I'm honestly assuming,
678-586-9241. 678-586-9241.
Yale Radiocast, this is the Mail Review. Thank you for calling in. Who do we have on the line?
Oh, Miss Phoenix.
What's going on, Phoenix?
Hey, Miss Phoenix. What's
My
good?
lady, Miss Phoenix. How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, Mark L. Hey, Mr. Williams. How y'all doing?
How you
We
doing?
good. We good.
What do you think about this topic right here?
I mean, it's a topic. It's prostitution, whether it's the longest running profession in the history of this country. So just like COVID, it's not going anywhere. Just here to say it's not going anywhere.
Right.
That's just it. And you know what a woman does to her body is just that. Like, you can't dictate. You know, they got to say you can't detect them having abortions. You can't dictate what the woman's doing with her body.
Right.
So you can't do that. I'm just trying to figure out the correlation between what TR was saying. You know, with them having, you know, a prostitute having babies, and whoever's taking care of them. Just like you stated earlier, there are plenty of women who not prostitutes that ain't taking care of their kids. What does that have to do with being a prostitute? You know, if anything, like you said, they're probably being safer than the average woman.
Okay, all right. So TR Phoenix got a direct question that she threw a softball right at your head. Basically saying, hey, you know, what is them having children have to do with it being prostitutes? Because 9 times out of 10, they're probably being safer. Now, just to
Kind
throw
of like agreeing with dialing.
yeah, agreeing with Dylan. Just to
Yes.
throw a caveat onto that, just let me say that you think they would be safer because
You think.
that's they money maker for all intents and purposes. That's their money maker.
Right.
So you want to protect that money maker at all costs. And if we looking at it from a prostitution standpoint, when you think about it, if you get pregnant, you gonna put yourself out of business for a few months, ain't you?
Yeah.
You gonna have to.
But at least 9.
At least 9
Well,
months.
no, at least 6 because
At least six.
they gonna work.
You might work them 3, but at least 6 months. You gonna put yourself out of business.
Well, let me answer that, Miss Phoenix, sister. Love you to death. My thing with that is it spills over into government obligation. Who pays the tax? The people pay the taxes. I mean, here's the thing. Understand me when I say this. Prostitutes are already prostitutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do their thing regardless.
Okay.
My thing is this. you're opening a door to to folks that are, like Donald said earlier, you're experimenting. You're playing around with the idea. It's a difference. I think the pimps are already pimps. I think the hoes is already hoes, and the prostitutes are already prostitutes. And I do believe that the Johns are already the Johns. So once you realize that all you're doing is open up a bigger door of people that's going to screw this system up that already does exist.
Right. And we're not saying that you're. Go ahead, Phoenix. Go ahead, TR. I think we're not even saying that you're wrong. We're just saying that this isn't the only way that this could go here, that it doesn't work, or that it isn't beneficial, or that it is problematic. Right. I personally see prostitution as no more positive or negative than legalizing marijuana, as we were speaking on. Yeah, they're two different fields and they operate two different ways,
right,
but there's positives and negatives
on both sides.
Of that. Like, shoot, I would love to have that, because shoot, I need something to relax me. You know what I'm saying? So
and prostitution can help you. Oh, you meant marijuana, my bad.
And I would honestly say I see it the same way. I see it the same way as y'all. I'm just speaking from a moral compass.
Right.
You know, prostituting yourself out, to me, is just still wrong. And I would ask any woman out there that argues that fact, why ain't you a prostitute then?
Oh.
And if it's such a great thing, why ain't you putting your ass out there for the cash?
Well, it is a moral thing. It is a moral thing.
Absolutely,
and it is definitely a societal belief of right and wrong. And
right.
I know you're very strong-willed and spirited on morals. Me and maybe a lot of people have said, hey man, a hoe gonna be a hoe, a chick gonna be a chick, a trifling ass dude gonna be a trifling ass dude.
Dog's a dog.
We could put as many walls up as we can to hope that society gets on track to more moral, you know what I'm saying, stability. But we know damn well, even with all the walls and parameters and rules and structures put up, we still gonna have some people that's gonna go
outside of the curb,
go by their own way,
and step out the box. Absolutely.
And you know what? I agree. But I think that the biggest issue with that is we're also on top of what you just said, my brother, which was a great point, is the idea that we're giving everybody an excuse. We're an excuse culture right now. So guess what? When that damn prostitute wants to be a woman again, you know what I'm saying? Or when, you know, these things, everybody wants the excuse when something happens in their decision.
But shouldn't she be able to be a woman again?
Or a man.
Or a man. Or a man.
Or a man.
You know.
But here's the thing. You all have luggage from whatever you've done in your past. You know, you can't have a sexually transmitted disease and then still be screwing folks without morally letting it be what it is. You let that person know the dangers that they're getting in the whole 9 yards.
Right.
You open up yourself for a huge thing to make a whole bunch of mistakes and ask for a whole bunch of excuses.
Right. I agree. Miss Phoenix, Phoenix, do you have anything else to add? TR basically covered a lot of moral beliefs and fabrics. Like, we're giving people excuses. It's not the fact that it is what it is, because we got this in all fields of the world. It's just that if we're gonna, tighten the rules and the restrictions up, we need to do that, or we're leaving the door open, is what he's saying, for this to continue and get worse. Is that kind of like where we're going with it, TR? So I can, because I don't think Phoenix probably hears you. Yeah. Okay. Do you got me, Phoenix?
I mean, how much worse is it going to get? Like, seriously, like I said, prostitution ain't going nowhere, just like COVID's not going anywhere. How much worse can it get? Like you said, it's already legalized in Vegas. You go to Vegas on the strip, they got goddamn cars. Hey, you want to see a pretty girl? Call this number. They'll bring the girls to you, or like you said, they'll take you to the brothel.
Right.
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
You can't. It's not. I don't know how much worse it's going to get. I mean, we're already. It's here. It's been here before we got. It's been here.
Right.
You can have all the moral compasses in the world. It's just strictly up to that individual.
It is an individual choice.
And it's not gonna go nowhere, because them same folks that's up there on Capitol Hill, the main ones.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hello.
So as long as
shout out to the upper room.
From the brothels over there in Vegas,
it's not going anywhere.
Right.
That's why they're legalizing marijuana. They can get $1 from it.
Yeah.
You see stuff starting to get legal. That's because they're getting ready to get some money.
Absolutely.
So them brothels ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely. And
The same ones up here on Capitol Hill.
they also getting it. They just go to where it's legal, so can't nobody say nothing about it. Look, we saw. Look. Let me just bring to the table. Y'all remember what happened with was it Robert Kraft?
Yeah.
The owner of the Patriots.
Of the Patriots,
Y'all see
yeah.
how quick that shit went away?
Man, look.
He got it explained away. Like, look.
6 months, it was dead.
It was dead in the water.
Yeah, but you talking to a Pittsburgh fan here, so
You got to help.
she excuses everything screwed up about that organization. Kraft, buying hoes, Ben Rapensberger.
Oh my goodness!
She supports
Listen,
all that.
The whole thing though, man, is pretty much like she said. It's here, and the one thing about it, like kind of touching on what TR was saying, when you legalize something, you bring the path to improve something or to try to normalize certain things. So, for example, out in Vegas, they have to get tested on a regular basis.
Right.
It has to be legally documented that they got these tests.
Right.
Because if not, they can't work. It's against the law for them to work, and they can't and the business owner, the guy that owns the Kitty Cat Ranch or whichever one of the ranches that are there, he can't let them work because he'll lose his business license because he has a legal obligation because of the legality of the prostitution. Okay, you can do this, but you have to do A, B, and C going down the line. So I think that kind of gives prudence to the fact that, hey, look, hey, there's a clause here. You want to work here at this brothel? Everything is fine. You make sure you're tested every week. Everything is good. If you get pregnant, just know that you on the bench for 6 months to a year, automatic. So if you want to slip up and not do it the way we say, which is to barrier protect method, which is going to be the way that nine times out of 10 they're going to do it, unless it gets down into more of the the nooks and crannies of a specialized situation. This is how we're going to do it, and if you break those rules and you get caught breaking those rules, then hey, you're going to be sanctioned, just like with us going to work every day. You working in your day, your 9 to 5, and me working in my 9 to 5. There are rules to this. You need to be here on time to do this, or you ain't gonna get your money.
And me as the director of pussy, you gonna get a write up if you don't show the director.
I'm gonna write it up.
Hey, thank you, Phoenix, for calling in.
That's right. Grabbing them by it is not legal on the premises.
Director of pussy, but listen, I'm the director.
The DOP,
I'm the director.
The DOP leg gang.
I'm the director of pussy. Listen, what we have not covered is Miss Kamala Harris and her stance on going after the pimps, and not so. I think and not the women on the other side. So I think what we're going to do is we need to go on a commercial break, and when we come back, let's address old VP elect and address that part. Because I kind of agree with what TR is saying. It becomes more of it may seem like it's an attack on men, because how do we release responsibility of women to conduct themselves as they should, or and say men are wrong though if they are a pimp of this woman doing the job? That's very interesting right there. That's a very interesting angle to address, so we're going to go on a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to go into that side. So, Yale Radiocast, this is the Male Review. Call in 678-586-9241. We're going on a break, and we're going to touch on that part right there.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for tuning in. We see you in a minute.
boy Young Nino checking in, man.
What's going on? This your boy Ether.
This presidential worthy, vote for me. Rap Analytics, man, we up in here.
Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. on Yale Radiocast.com.
We want your perspective. We're going to give you ours.
Man, if you into this hip-hop culture, we got all the information you need.
We're going to be breaking down everything from old school to new school, battle rap, fashion.
Anything that has to revolve around hip-hop, we're going to bring it to you from today's perspective for what's popping in the news right now. Hip-hop, rap analytics go hand in hand.
Rap Analytics, Yale Radiocast.com, baby, we live.
What it do? This your girl Major bringing the pain with Yale Radiocast. Check us out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, you can wake up with us every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with me and the lovely ladies for Women in the Mic. Anything you thinking about, from scandalous relationships, men that's handling their business, to women that's handling their business, kids, education, we're going to take it there. We're going to give you the real. We're going to give it to you on the Yale Radiocast.
Yo, this your girl Kay Chantel coming to you from Women in the Mic. We have been nominated as the hottest online radio network, you guys, and we need you all to go to the polls and vote for us. So to vote, go to www.atlhottest.com. The polls will be open for the rest of October and November. So come on, vote for your radio network, Yale Radiocast.
I don't need that storyline, Marcus.
Lemon pep,
I don't need that. I don't need that. Lemon pep. We are back from a commercial break, and for whatever reason,
Mark had lemon pepper last night.
Mark just
and I'm sweating.
That's what you got to put on it to make it season it up. These days.
Hey, listen. 678-586-9241. 678-586-9241. Welcome back to Studio 7B in the Mail Review. The topic today is prostitution.
Ooh.
Prostitution.
So, peep it out. Peep it. Thank you, everybody, for being on a live feed and listening out there worldwide.
Absolutely.
On Yale Radiocast. I want to do a little sidebar.
Yeah, man.
I need everybody to do this right now. Go online to atlhottest.com.
Yes.
And I need y'all to vote, since y'all still in voting spirit.
Yes, please vote.
Vote for Yale Radiocast, the hottest online radio network. We are nominated for ATL's hottest online radio network.
I think we got a chance since Kanye's not on this ballot.
I think Kanye might help the ballot. But anyways, that's just my personal opinion.
Right on, y'all.
You better not go against the man who made Jesus walk.
Listen.
Anyways, back to this topic as it holds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have been talking about prostitution and sex work overall and its legalization, and it definitely stems from some statements that our new Vice President-elect, Kamala Harris, mentioned in an interview. Now, one thing, I did pull up some information dealing with this interview, and one thing I want to point out to you out there listening, to everybody that's paying attention to the show on this topic. One thing about it is the media, the media and the fake news. Let's just go with that.
Fake news.
What happens
I have not lost the election.
Exactly.
I am still your president for a second term.
No,
we're going to make America. We're going to continue. Fake news. Biden.
Donald, that's not what happened.
Biden did not win. I'm being cheated.
That's not what happened, Donald.
Because look, Russia is in cahoots with Biden.
You didn't put in on this man. No Putin on this.
Touche, motherfucker, touche.
But just talking, man, the media will get a hold to a topic or get a hold to a
She's
soundbite.
a nasty woman,
and they will go ahead and they'll take it and they'll twist it and pull it to their advantage. So based on what we're talking about here, in an interview back in 2019. Kamala Harris, now the VP-elect, stated that sex work should be decriminalized, but with caveats. This represented a dramatic shift for her, as previously she supported efforts against decriminalizing sex work. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk a little bit just about the root of those two things. So, what we're talking about here is she was stating that decriminalization, which is different from legalization. Legalization of something means removing anything that that is regarded as illegal with it. So, for example, if you were to legalize prostitution, as in the case of Nevada, we're saying, hey, you can go here and you can spend money and get sex, and you can get it however you want based on a negotiation between you and that other person as consenting adults. That is a legalization. Decriminalization is in a place where they have not determined that we should legalize prostitution, but what we should do in essence is we should decriminalize it, in the point that whereas it would be, because this is a vice and this is a no-no, we're taking you straight to jail, versus, hey, we caught you doing this, we rather you go ahead and come to a court of law and go ahead and explain yourself. So we'll give you a ticket, we'll get you a court date, and then you can come in and you can fight your case one-to-one to say, hey, look, this is a personal thing between me and this person and another person. Now, one thing about what she was saying, when she said decriminalizing it with caveats, the caveats were, here's where the sticky wicket is around prostitution, y'all. The sticky wicket around prostitution is this: some people are forced, as Dylan mentioned before we went to break. Right. Some people are forced into prostitution, and this is more to destabilize the industry of sex trafficking, and that is the industry in which people are forced, beyond their will, to participate in sexual activities for people to make all these profits and them to not get any profits or anything like that. Right. These are not people that make the choice to actually become a part of the sex trade. Right. These are people who are forcing
somebody,
kind of like slavery.
Yes, it's basically slavery.
It is basically slavery.
Now that's a different field.
So what has happened is her statement that she made in 2019 has kind of been pulled out of context by somebody who actually was doing an interview and was kind of trying to dissect what she was saying, and what they came up with is that she wants to legalize prostitution. That's not what she said. What she said in essence is she wants to decriminalize it with caveats.
So basically it becomes like an infraction, like a speeding ticket.
Correct.
So to speak.
Correct.
So they still want, so what she's saying is, I see you, Kamala.
Yeah.
Y'all want to find a way to profit up off of this shit.
Go get some money.
I feel you. Come to court so we could give you this $300 fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Basically, that's so. So we're gonna go ahead. Go ahead, TR.
I will say this, Mark, after your statement. To me, it's almost like 6 1/2 I understand my brother, but decriminalization is not the same as legalizing or making it illegal. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: you change perspectives on who the criminals are.
Right.
Now the government is the criminal, and we're just calling it decriminalization. Mm-hmm. We're just calling it. You just gonna, like Dylan said, you're going to pay a fine, because guess what? The government's the criminal now.
Right.
So you're just switching characters.
Right. You just changing where the blame goes. Where the blame goes. Right.
Right.
Well, I got you.
So was there something in that document about what happens to the pimps in this situation?
Well, as a matter of fact, that talks about this as well. And so what I'm going to tell you a little bit about what her statements are. She had the interview was with a gentleman. His name is Mr. Starr, and he actually was doing an interview with her. And basically what happened was, we got the direct comments. What did she actually say in the interview? This is the guy's name is Jermaine Starr. So he asked, do you think that sex work ought to be decriminalized?
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Okay, we'll get back into that in a minute, but I got it pulled up.
Yale Radiocast, this is the Mail Review, and I love that this caller is calling in right here. We got Miss Copper Fox.
Hello, Yale Radio, Copper Fox.
This is
the building.
Hey,
How's
Copper
everybody?
Fox. Good. How you doing today?
Allow me to introduce Miss Copper Fox. This is my niece. This is my niece on the phone. Hey, how you doing, girl?
I'm on my best behavior.
Yeah, be on your best behavior. Thank you, Markel. She will not be on Markel after dark.
She will not be on Markel after dark.
She will not have anything to do with Markel after dark. I'm letting you know that right now, sir.
But if you use a different name, just use a different name. But anyway, go ahead.
What's going on, Copper Fox? What's going on? What's going on, Foxy Lady?
We doing good, lady. Thanks for your call today.
I haven't been getting the whole of the show because I'm out and about and multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
But when my uncle had sent me a message about the topic, I already know what I wanted to say, because I've been in this debate with so many different people, and my phone was going in and out on the part when y'all was breaking down the legalization versus decriminalization.
Okay. Yep. Did you want me to go over it again real quick, or did you get it?
Just give me a little, because I heard what you were saying about decriminalizing, meaning where you were saying something, make it like a speeding ticket.
Correct. So basically, legalization is saying, hey, you know what? What we said before, never mind. We good. You can go ahead and do that now. So legalizing marijuana would be, you know what? Go ahead and smoke all the weed you want to. Decriminalizing marijuana is different. What they're saying is, listen, we can't say that it's legal. So now that you have it, as opposed to it being an automatic, you going to jail for X amount of time, you're going to be locked up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What we can do is we can go ahead and give you a ticket. We can give you a ticket for having a certain amount of marijuana on you, and then you can come to court and you can talk about it with a lawyer, and we can go ahead and decide from there if you should be fined for it. So basically, the difference between legal and decriminalizing. That's what we were talking about.
So that's what they're going to do, decriminalizing prostitution.
Legalize.
Okay.
I think they should legalize.
Okay, and why do you think that, Copper Fox?
Why do I think that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even before ever understanding a little more about the difference between legalization and decriminalization, just like with the marijuana, because I don't get that, even though it's like a little toss-up between it, because the fight was for it to be legalized, but it is, I guess, becoming decriminalized, which means, okay, you can do it, but if you're going to do it, the government going to have to stipulate it. You got to get a car, you got to, if
something they can put onto it to control it.
Criminal, it's so much you have to go through in order to do that, which I think is some BS. I think they just need to legalize it. Same thing with prostitution, because that's just like, I mean, it makes no sense. They're trying to take, that was my thing, well, if it becomes legal, then they're going to try to find a way to tax it.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to try to find a way that they can capitalize off of it, and I think that is, man, I don't want to use the word that's immediately popping into my head, because I know the great aunts be listening. But listen, that is ridiculous. That's just like, I love all the black exploitation films and Willie Dynamite, and I love all of them. Don't get me wrong. That don't mean I agree with it, or I think anything is right or good without saying what my opinion is on it. But it's just like a woman's right to choose. It's her body.
Correct.
She can do whatever the hell she want to do with it. That's just like a hoe and a pimp. Well, I don't understand the purpose for the pimp, because
he ain't selling nothing. He ain't selling nothing.
You doing all the work. You two.
But he just making a meeting. Hey, some people need a manager.
Let me be your manager.
Some people need a manager sometimes. They don't want to worry about all that mess. They just want to do the work.
The little people who need their little protection. I guess all women ain't cut from the same cloth.
Okay.
So I get it. Some people need protection, and they need all the little things that they need. But at the end of the day, just like at the end of all of them movies, the little spell that they was under, they eventually snapped out of it and got themselves together for themselves, or they fell all the way to the wayside. And that's the way that story look at the end on both sides of that coin to me. Boy. It's a woman's body. Just like nobody shouldn't be able to tell you whether you should bear a child or not. I believe all of that is a woman's right to choose and decide what she should do with her body without having somebody to say, okay, if you do this, you got to give me a little bit off the top or off the side or off the whatever. You know, that makes absolutely no sense. But definitely I'm for the legalization of it, because it's something that almost can't be contained. It's so many levels to it. You got some women that walk up and down street corners. It's so wonderful. Now you got websites where you can go on and advertise what you're selling, how you want it. All of this kind of stuff.
How many roses?
Pippin ain't dead. It just moved to the web.
It's going to be almost impossible. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's going on all over the world. You got some women that have them coming in and out their back door. You know, how is the police going to be able to police it? It don't make no sense. We'll waste more money trying to go around and seek it out and find, you know what I mean? And sending these people through court and writing the citations. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
It just make no sense.
Well, I tell you what, we always gonna get some realness from your family, man.
I think it's right or wrong. Do you know how many mothers were just taken away from their children just for? I mean, no. I I think it should.
That's crazy because we've
should.
never addressed that. A lot of mothers were in prostitution to take care of their kids.
Correct.
And they got arrested or locked up, and they were still stripped from their kids.
Correct.
Now I see what Tyrone is saying. I do get
They
them.
made a choice.
Make a better choice.
Right.
McDonald's is hiring.
Right.
Yeah.
But
TR
we
said he
talking
loves
about
you.
the oldest
Kamika.
profession. We talking about the oldest profession on the planet.
Right.
I
True.
mean, let's be reasonable.
It's always gonna be somebody that
Now,
want it.
It's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? And you got some real educated, real professional, real all of those. You know what? It's not really so cut and dry what people think it is, even though it's awful. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a lot of stuff that people do. If I'm a major, if I'm a contractor and I got this business going and I hire a little few cheap labor off the it's a lot of stuff that people do that can say that's wrong. Well, when the shit falls down, they get in trouble or they go to jail, and it's just a talk of some people look at it like, dang, what they did is wrong. They took advantage of all these people or whatever. But everybody has to some level or to some degree kind of either put on a damn mask to survive this world for whatever it is they gonna do,
Literally.
or conform to some degree. And who is anybody to tell this person what they doing is wrong or detestable or it's a bad choice?
Right.
Because I know men that did the right thing, went on their job and worked their job 20 and 30 years for the city and for the whatever, and they bring some young person in when they trying to downsize, economy start crashing, and they start firing your ass to keep you from getting your raise or whatever, to hire this young person at a cheaper rate. And can you tell that man he made a bad choice? No, but he got a raw ass deal too at the end of the day.
True.
So I don't think no person can tell the other in that sense that's a bad choice, because it's not like if it's not a situation where they're endangering somebody or they just got their children in a real messed up situation where they're seeing some awful stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who is anybody to judge?
Well, you know what, and definitely thank you for those comments, Copper Fox, because I was about to just definitely talk about what she was saying, what the vice president-elect was saying in her interview that she did with that gentleman, Mr. Jermaine Starr. Right. Basically, she said, and when asked, does she think that sex work needs to be decriminalized? She said, I think so. I do. I think that we have to understand, though, that it is not as simple as that. It is also about, and there's an ecosystem around that includes crimes that harm people. And for those issues, I do not believe that anybody who hurts other human beings or profits off their exploitation should not be admonished or should be free of criminal prostitution. But when you're talking about,
if you run a brothel or something out your house and you got your children, it's never suicide.
Right.
You got some real professional outfits out there that is getting that money. You hear what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what she was saying. When you're talking about
it in a way, you can't say anything that's bad. Or some of them have husbands and they have families and they got they stuff together more than people working a 9 to 5 on their job they've been on for 15 years and got a whole lot invested in it and employ other people to do, and they do pretty well for themselves.
Hey.
And I don't think now those people in those situations, of course, it's gonna be a way that they're gonna have to be taxed, just like any other business that you run.
Correct.
At the end of the day, even though we don't agree with it, that's
our moral compass.
No matter what kind of business we run, you get what I'm saying?
That's our moral compass. You're right. But that's what she said. She said when you're talking about consenting adults,
you're gonna have all the levels of the food chain. You're gonna have the big timers, and then you're gonna have the bootleggers.
True.
Which one you want to be?
That's true.
I don't think you should go to jail for it, though. That's all I'm saying.
That's what she was saying. When you're talking about consenting adults, I think that yes, we should really consider that we can't criminalize consensual behavior as long as no one is being harmed. But at the point that anyone's being harmed or exploited, I think that we have to understand that that's a completely different matter.
We're going to talk about that.
That's what she was saying. So thank you, definitely, Copper Fox. And we all know that, boy, listen, that Williams family tree, that thing, boy.
Vocally,
y'all gonna say what's on y'all mind, boy. Let me let you know right now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you guys are welcome. Thank you guys for all that y'all doing. Y'all a great bunch of men. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to The Leg, my dear.
I'm going to talk to you later, Mika.
All right, Unc. I love you.
Love you too. I love her.
And she's awesome, man. And and TR, just if you didn't hear anything she was saying, she basically stated that, listen, pretty much what I just stated about what Kamala was saying, as long as it's not harming anybody. So kind of to your, based on what you gave as an explanation earlier, the lady who has 4 and 5 children and she tells them all go in the back room and do that. I'm thinking with legalization or with decriminalization of it, or making it so that they can actually do this, actually as an actual business, that they would take the business precaution. Yeah. They would take the business things. Hey, listen, those 4 kids that you have, you need to find a place for them to be, or you need to do your business in another location, kind of like homework, work-life balance.
Right.
Hey, this is my home life, and this is where I take care of my children, my 4 kids, and do whatever. Right. And this is where I work, and this is where I trade sexual happiness for money. I think the two should be separated. I think that's the case. Right. But I understand where you're coming from as well, brother. Some people are gonna try to cut corners. You're gonna run into them cut corners, dude. Come on. We got legal marijuana dispensaries, but JoJo and them around the corner got their 2 for $5,
and I'm gonna
go
to
them shits
JoJo.
is going hot. and you see what I'm saying? It's gonna always be an undercurrent. Look at the mobsters. Look at how the mobsters came to rise. They would have never got power had we not decided suddenly our morality, allegedly as a country, decided that alcohol should be prohibited. As soon as they took alcohol off the table, here comes Al Capone. Here comes Lucky Luciano. Here comes La Cosa Nostra, right? This is what gave rise to it. Here come the Kennedys. Sorry, upper room. Sorry. Anyway,
that Kennedy discussion is what got us blocked.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I was talking about another Kennedy.
Yes.
Joe Kennedy.
Yes.
Oh wait, not that Kennedy. Not that Kennedy. Wait a minute. Hold on.
You're talking about Ken Eady.
Ken Eady. Yeah,
Yes.
Ken Eady. That dude. Right. Exactly. But just saying, brother. Yeah, but that's what Copper Fox was definitely pointing out, that hey, look, this is something that's gonna happen. So it's better to get to the best side of history.
Now you know what I want to talk about, what we missed on, that
what did we miss?
That TR was saying earlier, that when we introduced it, is the pimps. The pimps.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pimps.
See,
I ain't talking about the sex traffickers. I'm talking about the pimp.
The actual pimp. Well, I mean, they call the pimp the panderer or the sex trafficker.
Right.
They call him a sex trafficker.
How do we handle pimpology, if you will?
That's gonna be. I wish we can get a pimp to call in 678-586-9241.
Well, I mean, I'm
on
here
the show
in
right
my
now.
past
I'm
days.
saying I'm on the show right now, so I'm already here. And TR, what you say for the pimps? Now, TR.
I always treat my prostitutes like women.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna tell you right now. They need protection. They need protection. They need an agreement. I'm not forcing them. It's a business, man.
R. Kelly, give us a call. Oh, you can't.
Don't
Never
do it.
mind,
Don't do it.
Never mind, Kels. You can't call. That man had a whole house full of them.
Oh my Lord,
man!
have
Look
mercy.
here. The crazy thing is, the women were so mad. Like, how could he? And the dude's like, man, that man got a house full of them things.
Listen.
That's my point, guys. That's my point right there. Okay, how is it that we demonize R. Kelly? I see a straight line from what we're talking about right now to, hey, R. Kelly has some agreeing women, young women, yes, but I don't think. Wait a minute. He had one statutory, but what about the women that was in the house?
What about the women? Let's not talk about the 2003, 2004 case. Mm-hmm. We're talking about this whole storyline of the women from 2017, 18, when the whole R. Kelly thing came out.
Well, and they were consenting.
They were consenting because they were of legal age.
Right, but see, we're talking about a morality thing now. So that
I think Tyrone has been talking about morality the whole time.
The whole time he's been talking about morality. But here's the thing, and that's what that comes down to. Now, why do they demonize R. Kelly? It's because we as a society are looking at grooming as being a bad thing at this point. And trust and believe, I understand people, y'all that are listening, I'm sure 678-586-9241, you want to call in and chat about it. Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's not that R. Kelly was quote unquote wrong per se, because he followed the letter of the law according to what they were saying as far as him talking to women who were of age and these women being of age. However, as far as morality goes and as far as the legality of that is concerned, that was wrong in the essence that he was talking to these women while they were underage in order to try to put them in the mind state that they wanted to be in a situation with someone his age. That's where the problem comes in. That's where the issues come in with the morality of it. Now, mind you, again, we're in a country, or we're in a world where, you know, a woman getting married at 14 wasn't a bad thing at a certain point in time until the morality caught up with the legality of everything, and we realize that these people don't really have the mind state to be able to make a consenting choice. So when you deal with prostitution and sex work, when you come around to that, all right, so here's the devil's advocate question of the day, if y'all got that out there. I'm an 18-year-old male or female or something in between, and I decide, you know, I've seen how glamorous prostitution is. I've seen these people get a lot of money. I've seen them have cars. I've seen them have houses. I've seen them go through all of this. I'm 18 and I make this decision. I make this choice. And then I go to Dyline and say, Dyline, I need you to manage me. Should Dyline go to jail because this 18-year-old came to him and said, I got this idea for what I want to do. I want to sell this particular sex craft that I do, that's wonderful, and I want you to manage the day-to-day, the in and outs. I want you to manage my doctor's visits. I want you to manage when I work and when I'm off, and when I get to see my family and when I don't, and so on and so forth. Should Dylan be demonized for that? Should he be someone who is arrested? Should he get a ticket for being a quote-unquote pimp? Because at that point, that's really what just happened. This 18-year-old person came to you and said, I want you to pimp me, in essence. Should you be arrested for that?
TR, what do you think about arresting or holding the pimp to a legal standard if we're going to release accountability on the prostitute? What do you feel, TR? Because I could tell you, I could tell you, like, if it's to me, if we're consenting adults and me managing your cooter cat,
that part,
you know, I mean, maybe I can manage your thing better than you, you know, because guess what? And word on the street is this is the reason for the pimp, because I have no experience in this. But the word on the street is the reason for the pimp is to make sure that we're getting, number one, the right amount of money out of this, John.
Right.
Number two, whoever it is, because I know some of these dudes on the streets and they become clientele, and I know who you should and who you shouldn't mess with. Word on the street is, once again, I have no experience in this field. Number three is, I know where the easy money spots are, the way you need to go. You know, so all these things become a business in how we operate, and my job is to oversee what comes in financially due to this work that you're doing.
Like any other business.
Any other business. Can I be your manager? What do you feel, TR?
I feel this as far as a history lesson. In history, men have proven that they're better at managing a woman's vagina than a woman.
Oh my goodness. Woo! 678-586-9241. Men are better at managing the woman's vagina
better than
the woman. What? Listen, 678-586-9241. That phone about to jump off of that box right now. Woo! Boy, they about to jump off that box.
But y'all be saying I'm the bad guy.
You're the bad guy, sir. Say hi to the bad guy.
But seriously, I feel like both of them need to be equally taken care of as far as the letter of the law.
Mm-hmm.
If there's just like involvement, me and Dylan also know that, okay, you might be going to get your cousin or uncle or aunt out of a crack house.
Okay.
If you get busted, you might not have no drugs on you at all, but guess what?
You was in the crack
You're
house.
going to get in that car, and you better have a good representation to get you out because you're in proximity.
Okay.
You're affiliated with the crime area. You're affiliated with the crime scene or whatever the case may be.
Gotcha.
I feel like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're going to take the pimp down, you better take the prostitute down if she's consenting. Now, if she said the dude force her into it or whatever.
Whole different
issue. A lot
issue.
of people would lie their way out of that situation.
Whole different issue.
Now, once again, everybody that's listening out there in Yale Radiocast Nation and online, we are not talking about the pimps that are abusing and sex trafficking
minors and
minors,
forcing
and
people.
We honestly know that situation. We already know what that vibe is. We already know
that's a whole
that is
different chestnut.
a realm where the girl is definitely victimized.
Right.
Definitely the victim in that situation, and that guy is taking advantage forcefully on her. She has nowhere to go. You know, sometimes they're left out alone, homeless, nowhere to go, and he's taking advantage of that situation. We're not talking about that. That's a different show, and that we'll have to go very deep into those storylines.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. We're talking about the consenting parties of a pimp and a prostitute, where they enter into agreement and consenting both sides. So let's just make sure we're not getting this confused by the people listening.
Right.
And what we're saying is, if Kamala Harris is talking about holding a certain level of responsibility to the man, usually because women pimp men too,
or to the controller,
Let's
leave that.
We're going to say
gender neutral terms.
You are so eloquently
I
verbal,
do my best.
sir.
I do my best.
Oh my God,
I do my best.
Thank you. To how do we hold people accountable evenly if it comes down to a legal controlling situation?
Right. And I think that's what they're trying to get to, man. I think that the whole point and the whole purpose to decriminalizing or legalizing is to try to, their whole purpose is to try to curb this whole trafficking thing, this whole sex trafficking thing, and the people that are affected negatively by this trade. I mean, okay, it's one thing for it to be, hey, it's legal. This is legal. When you look at something that has a legality, it's fine. So, for example, I can go over here to Checkers. It's legal for me to buy a cheeseburger at Checkers. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if you decide to go whip your grill out and go stand at the Chevron and say, hey, man, I'm making these burgers, you can make those burgers and you can put poison in them and kill 30, 40 people.
Right.
But they ain't got no legal ramification. That you have no legal ramifications to say, well, they didn't ask me if they had antifreeze in them.
Right.
That's their fault. They just saw me selling a burger. They just saw me selling a burger. They was greedy and hungry.
That's the secret sauce.
And they wanted a burger. So, but that's the thing. But see, you have a legal precedent to come to him and go, hey, man, you sold a bunch of burgers that got antifreeze in them. Where's your license?
And Josh the intern said that I had a long reach.
Listen.
That award goes to my
But I'm saying that's the thing. So with them trying to decriminalize and trying to legalize this, or trying to get this to a point where we make this a normal thing. That's not like it's not normal. Okay, so hey, listen. I grew up. I'm a 70s baby. Okay. I came through the 70s. Trust me, there was not always a weed dispensary, but yet there was always weed. Okay, so people are gonna learn how to work around the corners of the system, no matter what, in order to try to avoid legality. Okay, for whatever reason. However, if they could come to some sort of conclusion and say, you know what, just like they did, actually, believe it or not, during this last vote that happened, it wasn't just the president, and it wasn't just for the House of Representatives and for the Senate and all that good stuff. There were a lot of bills that people passed through quietly for marijuana legalization, for people to be able to use it recreationally. Right. So what happens is, over time, the collective moral compass changes a little bit when you think about it. Because, we went from, we went from where alcohol was okay, and this is something that people brewed and people made their own beer and their own whiskey, to alcohol is a scourge on humanity, and let's go ahead and do prohibition, to where it got to the point where they was like, look, people gonna still drink, they're gonna still sneak around the corners, this is where your mobsters and your gangsters came from, let's go ahead and go legalize it again, and hopefully we can kind of undercut them. Now, as we all know how this country works, and we've been around for long enough to know, and anybody who's in the mob stories, they pretty much set themselves up. They struck when the iron was hot and made their money, so it didn't quite cut the feet off of them.
Yeah. All they doing right now is flying up under the radar.
Right, but it took them out of the business of them being the only ones to be able to get alcohol because now everybody's got it. Same thing with Sunday legalization in Georgia. A perfect example. That's a real term, dude. I had the best bootlegger. I'm telling you right now, dude. Even though you pay extra money on Sunday, them $1 deuces cost $2 on Sunday because you couldn't get no liquor in Georgia. But my bootlegger was so cool.
I was so blown that this was a dry state.
Listen, we would go to his house, and in his basement, it was set up like a bar. You go in, the football game is on. You can get you some wings and some popcorn. You can sit down. He give you your beer in a brown paper bag. You sit there. You can watch the game for a couple of seconds. You didn't have to go in and run out, so it didn't look like a drug interaction.
Right.
It looked like you went to your friend's house, and when you left there, you had a paper bag. So even if the feds was watching, I'm gonna be fresh as hell if the feds watching. I had a paper bag. You don't know what I got in that paper bag. Right. And when you ask me, where you get this beer from? Hey, man, I got it from a homeboy house.
Shit.
What, you paid for it? Yeah, last night. Yeah, Saturday, when it was legal.
Man, we've been drinking all night.
We've been drinking all day.
We were watching the game.
Exactly. So people are going to find a way. But when they came around to going ahead and saying that beer sales were legal in Georgia on Sunday afternoon, that shut the bootleggers down. But it's no point for a bootlegger no more. You cut that illegal business out. One thing is, of course, it's all about control. You can't control a bootlegger. So I buy a 6-pack of Bud Ice, and those of us that have been in the military, we slide some formaldehyde under the cap, make that beer a little stronger. What if something happens to this guy that bought that beer from your house? What you gonna say? I bought beer from his house. Anybody know beer here?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You my homeboy. You came to visit. I gave you a beer.
Yeah. So.
Ain't nothing I can do about that. So that's what they're talking about. What TR? What you got over there?
So let's resolve it. We are closing out. So what's the end? Everybody's resolution of what we think about this: the pimp side, the prostitute side, the governmental structure side. Let's close it out. What do we feel like needs to be done, TR?
I just basically brought up the idea of Kamala to for people to start getting into the way that she's thinking, what she's saying, the whole 9 yards, because I believe from what we've been talking about, government issues are our issues on a day-to-day basis. We need to know who we're dealing with, why we're dealing with them, and if we don't want to deal with them.
We the people.
Now, as far as my take on prostitution and stuff like that, I don't give a damn what a woman does with what's between her legs because I'm not out there screwing every woman. I feel like if they feel like that's what they need to do, then I don't have a dog in that fight, but I will. If you're choosing the lowest option on that chart, understand what you're saying about yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're saying that this is all I got to give the world, then that's all you got to give the world. I'm not going to structure our system that we live off of on a day-to-day basis. I love my women, and I think all of y'all are queens, and I don't want to hold you to a higher standard than what you hold yourself. Now, that's just morally, but when it comes to me saying, oh, they better not do it, or I don't give a damn. Okay. I really don't, women.
All right, there you go.
Please believe, we give fun commentary, and we give how we feel, and I give an extra character to what I feel, but please don't come at me with the rah-rah thinking that I really am that concerned with you.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard that. T.I. said, come at him with the rah-rah. That's what I heard. That's what it sounded like I heard. Come at him directly for the rah-rah. Come straight to his inbox. Talk to him.
Say, go straight to the inbox. Let me tell you about you.
All right. Well, for me, man, here's my theory on it. Again, this kind of goes back to a controlling factor, trying to control bodies. I say it should be decriminalized if that is the path that it's taking. I think it should be legalized. Why? Because anything between yourself and another consenting adult should be y'all business. If y'all decide y'all want to have sex for the free, go ahead and do that. If y'all decide y'all want to have sex for a fee, go ahead and do that. I think that you should be well within your rights to do that. I don't think anybody can police that, period. I don't think anybody can police the human body. I don't think you can police that. Because, I mean, look, you can get married. That ain't going to stop you from cheating. You can get a job, and they tell you don't moonlight. That ain't gonna stop you from going to get another job and moonlighting. If you can get a DUI, and they tell you ain't got no driver's license, but ain't nothing gonna stop you from getting behind the wheel and driving if you feel like driving. I don't think you can police the human body. I don't think you can do that. In that aspect, I do believe that prostitution should be something that is legal. If you make that choice, that's on you. And then everybody else can feel however they need to feel. Their moral compass is their moral compass. You don't deal with people that used to be prostitutes. Fine. You don't like porn stars. You don't like strippers. That's fine. Those are all preferences and choices. However, what I cannot do is I cannot shit on your choice as to how you want to make your mark on this world. Hell, you may have decided that sex is your best thing to do. And if you decide that, you should have every right to do that without being prosecuted, I think. That's my thought process of it, man. Dylan, what about you? Lord, everybody, turn the music down. If you got on the bonnet, take it off. If you don't got on the bonnet, put it on. Because this dude's about to say some stuff. Lord, be with us. Namesake, what you got, sir?
So, I am so for legalizing prostitution, right? I agree with the sentiments of most of the people. It's your body. Mm-hmm. Do with your body as you will.
Yeah.
But know the consequences of the choices that you made.
True.
My whole thing is, and TR kind of hinted towards this earlier, don't expect for you to be a prostitute or hoe out here in these streets and then tell me as a man that I gotta accept your lifestyle and then say, why, that's my past. Okay, so your past included saying fuck a regular job and doing this, as if there aren't options out there in this world for you to do something better. See, that's the thing. We always hold men to this greatest standards and being the best man, best person we could be, best man we could be. But when we're talking about holding women to the best woman we could be, we're told, oh, you got to understand the plight that we're going through as women, that it turns down and you just did what we had to do. As if that doesn't relate to men.
Because we had to do some shit too, right?
Because we had to do some shit too. Mm-hmm. We had some little struggles too. In our struggles, we had to do some things that was less savory to the ears and the assumptions of America. Yeah, I may have been a hobosexual. We don't like that term. Yeah, I may have been an F boy.
But that's what I was.
But you say, hey, you should have took a better path. You should have chose better. So yeah, I'm always on the fence with this. You're getting the Gemini talk. Yes, go ahead and legalize it. But if you're choosing to do this, don't get mad if I choose to say, hey, I'm going to always look at you as
what you were.
Possibly. Maybe me. Maybe the next person may look at you different. But you got to understand, if somebody said, well, shit, McDonald's was hiring. Might not been the fastest of money.
But
it
was legit. It was something I could respect you for.
I know Walden Security is always hiring. I know that personal.
Right on, man. Right on.
So what I'm saying is, just make wise decisions even in our paths, because that decision in that moment will always affect your future. So think about your future. That's all I gotta say.
Well, right on, y'all.
That wasn't too harsh, was it?
That wasn't too hard. That was calm by comparison, sir.
Okay.
Did you see a puppy? Great. Did you see a puppy this morning on the way to work? I'm trying to understand. Y'all, thank y'all for joining the leg today on this Saturday as we go through our topics in the male review, where we give you the male perspective on the things that we see and the things that we hear. We want to definitely give you a shout out. Everybody that called in, Copper Fox, Phoenix who called in, Queen D who called in,
Copyright
who called in, Miss Larkin called in.
Yes.
Hey, thank y'all for definitely listening, and thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for calling us at 678-586-9241. Thank you for listening to the Male Review on this Saturday. And all we got to say is, hey, I think Joe Biden finally did win the presidency.
Well, you know, la 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 la. Wait till I get
ladies and gentlemen, we'll do the Kanye Appreciation Hour sometime after Mark L. After dark. We'll let Dylan run that one. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in today, and definitely remember, go to, what is it, Atlanta?
It is ATLHottest.com.
.com.
Please vote, since you're still in the voting spirit.
Yes, please.
Vote for Yale Radiocast as your Atlanta's hottest online radio network.
Hey.
Also, don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Yale Radiocast or at the Yale brand, the Yale brand on Instagram, and follow us on, subscribe to our page on YouTube. So we're all over. We're everywhere from Pandora. We're now on Amazon Music. So you can holler at that girl Alexa, say, hey Alexa,
play Yale Radiocast.
Play Yale Radiocast.
What?
We are there. We are on every major streaming platform. But the goal is for Yale Radiocast to be the streaming platform.
Absolutely.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. You already know what the motto is. It is get the business, but be cautious of the business.
Right.
We ain't pimping nobody.
Now, if you have problems with TR, go straight to his inbox.
I love all my prostitutes. They get vacation time.
They love you too, sir. They love you too, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We'll catch y'all back next Saturday. Tune in then and definitely hear from us. Myself, Mark L., Brother TR from an undisclosed location, and the namesake, Dylan Yale, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Brother Josh, the intern, we hear you out there working, my brother. We'll see you next week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Holla.
Yale Radiocast.com